Good morning, boys and girls. Since we were talking about shapes this week, I thought we would read a book about a pumpkin that has a strange shape. This is called The Legend of Spookly, the Square Pumpkin. We don't usually see a square pumpkin. The author is Joe Trioni. He wrote the book. The illustrator is Susan Banta, so she drew the pictures. Here's our title page. The Legend of Spookly, the Square Pumpkin. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookly wasn't like his friends. Where they had curves, he had ends. Spookly was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookly the pumpkin wasn't round. He was square. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookly sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookly wished he was round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times it's better to be a square. It looks like they're having some bad weather on this night. Suddenly, I skipped a page right there. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines and off they'd go. Bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing, what a sight. Spookly sat there filled with fright, but glad to be a square that night. He wasn't rolling around like the round pumpkins. Suddenly the fence gave way. 3 pumpkins rolled out into the bay. That's the water. Spookly knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried, and finally flipped and was on his side. Again he tipped, again he flopped, again he flipped, and then he stopped right in the gap where the fence had snapped. He blocked the way, the hole was capped. So he is blocking that space in the fence so the other pumpkins won't roll out. All the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray! Spookly the square pumpkin saved the day." Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack. With a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash, and then it all went black. At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. And when the last one was moved away, the farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged against the broken fence. Its shell was bruised, its stem was too, but there was brave little Spookly sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there the farmer knew, of all the seeds he'd ever sown, Spookly's was the most special that had grown. And the next year when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And oh, that morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds, most of them square. Look at it, boys and girls. But some were cubes and some were rectangular, some were flat and others triangular. There were a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. So they had all different colored pumpkins and all different shapes. Now every year on Halloween, Spookly's patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare. Then they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. Now you know the story of how Spookly grew. Maybe someday you'll tell someone too. And they'll go tell someone who will go tell another. And maybe one day we all will discover you can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. It means it does not matter what Spookly looked like, even if he was a different shape. He saved the day for all those other pumpkins. All right, boys and girls, that is the legend of Spookly the Square Pumpkins. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.